Most people in Kenya today believe one thing about real estate investing. At 16% bank interest, rental property cannot work. And honestly, on the surface, it sounds logical because when people hear 16% interest, they immediately assume the bank wins, the investor struggles, and the deal becomes too risky. But here is what most people do not understand. Interest rate alone does not determine whether a property works. The deal determines whether the property works. And that distinction is the difference between owning a building that drains you every month or owning a building that actually pays for itself. In fact, over the years, I've seen many professionals avoid excellent opportunities because they focused only on the interest rates, while other investors quietly acquired income-producing buildings that continue generating cash flow month after month. In this video, I want to break this down practically and simply. I want to show you how a rental property can still pay for itself, even at higher interest rates, the mechanics behind a cash-flowing deal, the mistakes that make properties fail, and the structure smart investors use to reduce risk and increase stability. And if you stay till the end, I will also share why many professionals are approaching real estate the wrong way entirely, especially when buying apartment buildings. For over 20 years, I've helped professionals and investors structure their finances and acquire income-producing real estate in Kenya. And one thing I can tell you confidently is this: a good property bought badly becomes a bad investment. But a good property bought strategically can create financial freedom faster than most people can imagine. Now, before we begin, if you need support building long-term financial independence through structured investing, check out my free training video in the descriptions below. The video is called How to Acquire a 16, 24, or even 48 unit apartment building. It will help you understand how to move from salary independence to asset ownership and long-term financial freedom. Also, please subscribe and share this video with somebody serious about wealth building, and ring the notification bell so that you never miss future videos. So now let's jump into it. One of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming high interest automatically means a bad deal. That is not true, because real estate investing is not just about borrowing money. It is about purchase price, rental income, financial structure, deposit size, repayment period, operating costs, management quality, and you must look at the entire system. Let me simplify this. If you buy a property at the wrong price, even a low interest rate will not save you. But if you buy a strong income-producing property at the right price, you can still generate positive cash flow even at 16% in interest. This is why many investors fail. They focus on the bank instead of focusing on the deal. So step number 1, buy from a motivated seller. This is probably the most important principle. The money is made when you buy, not when you sell. Most struggling investors buy emotionally. They buy from flashy developers, overpriced projects, hyped location, or emotional marketing. Professional investors think differently. They look for motivated sellers. What is a motivated seller? It is someone who needs liquidity, is under pressure, wants to exit quickly, has management fatigue, has debt pressure, is relocating, or simply wants out. And when you buy from a motivated seller, you can usually buy below market value. Now, why is this important? because your purchase price directly affects your loan amount, your monthly repayment, and ultimately your cash flow. Now, let's use a simple example. Supposing a building generates 600,000 shillings per month in rental income. If you buy it expensively, say at 80 million shillings, the numbers may struggle. But if you negotiate and buy it at 65 million shillings, suddenly your loan becomes smaller, repayments reduce, cash flow improves dramatically. This is why negotiation matters more than many people realize. The investor who buys correctly creates room for profit. Step number 2, pay a higher deposit. This is another mistake many people make. They want maximum leverage, meaning, let me put the smallest deposit possible. This sounds attractive emotionally, but financially it can become dangerous, especially in a high interest environment. This is why serious investors often put 35, 40% or even higher deposits. Why does this matter? Because the larger your deposit, the smaller your loan. The lower your repayment, the lower your pressure, and the stronger your monthly cash flow. Let's say you buy a 70 million shilling building. Investor A puts 20%, investor B puts 40%. Who has lower repayment pressure? Investor B. Who is more likely to remain cash flow positive? Investor B. Who can survive vacancies more comfortably? Investor B. This is critical. Many people think wealth is built through aggressive borrowing, but sustainable wealth is built through controlled risk, especially for professionals. You do not want a property that creates anxiety at the end of every month. You want a property that gradually strengthens your financial position over time. Step number 3, stretch the repayment period. This is another powerful step that many people ignore. A shorter loan term means higher monthly repayments. A longer loan term means lower monthly repayments. Now, of course, a longer repayment period means you end up paying more interest over time. But remember, our first objective is stability and cash flow, not pressure. This is why many successful rental property investors structure loans over 15 years, sometimes even longer. Why? Because the property becomes more likely to carry itself. The rent pays the mortgage, and over time, rents increase, inflation works in your favor, the loan balance reduces, and cash flow improves further. Many people think too short term. They want instant results. But wealth through rental real estate is usually built through patience, structure, and compounding over time. Step 4, control operating costs. This is where many deals quietly fail. Poor cost management. You can buy a good building and still destroy the cash flow through uncontrolled expenses. Things like poor maintenance, leakages, poor tenant selection, excessive vacancies, inflated costs, bad contractors, unmanaged utilities, or weak collections. This is why management matters enormously. A property is not just a building, it is a business, and every business needs operational discipline. Many investors underestimate this. They assume that once you buy the building, the work is done. No, this is where the real work begins. You must manage the occupancy, maintenance, tenant quality, expenses, collections, and systems. A well-managed building can dramatically outperform a poorly managed one, even in the same location. Step number 5, The property must carry itself. This is one of the most important ideas I teach investors. The property should carry itself as much as possible, meaning rent should pay the loan, it should cover the expenses, and ideally leave a surplus cash flow. Now, in the early years, cash flow may not always be huge. That is okay, because remember, your tenant is helping repay your asset. Over time, the rents increase, debt reduces, property values appreciate, and your equity grows. This is how financial freedom is built, not through speculation, not through shortcuts, but through disciplined ownership of productive assets. Now, let me tell you something important. Many people do not fail because real estate does not work. They fail because they buy emotionally, they overborrow, they buy overpriced projects, they ignore cash flow, or they fail to understand deal mechanics. The property itself is rarely the problem. Structure is usually the problem. And this is why strategy matters so much, especially for high-earning professionals, because many professionals have enough income to invest, but not enough structure. And without structure, even high income becomes dangerous. Let me give you a simplified example. Supposing an investor identifies a 24-unit apartment building owned by a tired landlord with poor management and below market occupancy. The seller wants out quickly. Instead of buying emotionally, the investor negotiates aggressively and increases deposit size and structures a 15-year repayment. He also improves management, reduces vacancies, and controls operating costs. Now, what happens? Rental income improves. Cash flow stabilizes. Property begins carrying itself. And over time, equity grows, rents increase, and the investor acquires a stronger financial position. This is how experienced investors think. They are not chasing a hype. They are solving numbers. Here is a bonus lesson. Stop asking the wrong questions. Most people ask, how much profit will I make? While professional investors ask, how much downside protection do I have? This is a completely different mindset. Before buying any building, ask, how can this property survive vacancies? Can it survive higher expenses? Can it survive a temporary economic pressure? Does the cash flow still make sense? Is the purchase price attractive enough? This downside-first thinking protects you from financial stress. And honestly, this is one of the biggest differences between amateur investors and disciplined investors. Now, I would love to hear from you. Have you ever assumed that high interest rates automatically makes real estate impossible? Or have you seen investors still succeed despite expensive financing? Let me know in the comments below. I read the comments personally and would love to hear your perspective. Now, if you want to understand how to identify cash flowing apartment buildings, how to structure deals correctly, how to avoid expensive real estate mistakes, and how professionals are building long-term financial independence through rental real estate, then I want you to watch my free training, How to Acquire a 16, 24, or even 48-unit apartment building. Inside the training, I break down the financial systems behind long-term wealth, how to move from salary dependence to asset ownership, and how strategic real estate investing actually works in Kenya. The link is in the description below. Please click the link and watch the training after this. If you found this video valuable, please hit the like button below and also share it with a friend and subscribe to the channel. And remember, interest rates alone do not determine success. Structure does. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.